President Trump and Elon Musk are moving forward to make significant changes to the U.S. Agency for International Development. And critics are arguing USAID has become a slush fund wasting taxpayer money. Press Secretary Caroline Levitt gave a blistering account of the agency's absurd spending yesterday.
Here's the reason why Elon Musk and others have been taking a look, because if you look at the waste and abuse that has run through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on.
Okay, guys, big revelations from the DOGE team that Elon Musk just revealed. By the way, very young. You're going to see some of their faces here in a minute. And also big revelations about USAID and some of the government waste that's been going on. All that we're covering in this video, guys. Be sure to leave it a like. Let's jump into it.
$1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government.
Wow. I hope they were taking notes. Now we're learning more about Elon Musk's small army to cut the wasteful spending. These young engineers were reportedly handpicked by Elon Musk, and the oldest is just 25 years old, and some of them are reportedly still in college. Joey, I took notes. $1.5 million to advance the DEI in Serbia's workforces.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, USAID.
So I have an anecdote for you. I have a friend, she texted me a few hours ago, unsolicited, didn't know I was on the show today. She said, I've been a contractor, subcontractor for USAID for 30 years. She said, I've been saying for a long time to my friends and family that it's a wasteful agency. We've done some of the stupidest projects you can ever imagine. Although it's now putting me partially out of business, it's a good thing, and that's what I voted for. That's from somebody who has been a contractor, subcontractor, who has firsthand experience for 3 decades. I think it was Harold Ford yesterday on the 5 said, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Well, sometimes that's exactly what you need to do. Sometimes you need to hit delete and then start over again. Because the people that are working in that agency, they were approving these things. So that's a part of their ethos. And if they have to go home and not come back to work, that's probably the best thing that should happen.
Rebecca?
Well, listen, it not only is it waste, but a lot of times, a lot of this stuff aggravates our allies and partners. It's ideologically controversial. So it's pushing things like abortion on conservative countries or the LGBTQ issue or climate ideology, and it aggravates our partners and allies. Of course, it aggravates a lot of Americans as well, and sometimes violates the consciences of our Americans. Don't even want our taxpayer dollars to go to these things. But I think the larger point is USAID was never meant to be purely charity, purely altruism. It's supposed to align with American foreign policy objectives and make sure that we have countries that are siding with the United States against our adversaries. Last point, recently went to a trip to India. India, conservative country. We want to partner with India to counter China. The Indian officials I talked to said they were irritated by the progressive policies that the Biden administration foisted on them. It hurt our relationship with India.
Yeah, I wonder how Serbia's workforces would feel about all that DEI. I'm sure they don't turn down the money, $1.5 million. But to your point, I mean, that's not in alignment maybe with some countries. I don't know about Serbia.
Yeah, look, this is the best 3 examples I've seen for the problems at USAID. I just want to highlight it. Emma Colton, FoxNews.com. Everyone read this. Number 1, Tom Cotton sends a letter October of 2023 to Samantha Power, who's administering USAID, and says, I have credible evidence that Hamas terrorists have received U.S. aid. Now, USAID denies that. Tom Cotton, however, not known for throwing random things to the wind. Number 2, Syrian National gets $9 million to Al-Nusra Front. Newsflash, Al-Nusra Front is a terrorist organization. Number 3, money gets to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Let's put a cherry on top. A Soros group is who Samantha Powers chooses to meet with several times during the administration. Those are the problems. And just to address the point, because there's this viral story about AIDS and PEPFAR and that not getting to children. Everyone wants to see African children helped. Everyone wants to see PEPFAR continue. Secretary Rubio addressed this just now in a press conference flagged for me by the State Department. Quote, we have issued a blanket waiver. If the program saves lives, they have a waiver. Straight from the Secretary of State.
Well, guys, a lot more to come here, but USAID has become, as you can tell, a taxpayer-funded slush fund. That's what I'm saying. Taxpayer-funded slush fund. Absolutely insane what is happening, guys. First of all, thanks, everyone, for leaving a like on the video and supporting the channel. I appreciate everybody. But why? Why are millions of our tax dollars funding DEI programs overseas instead of helping struggling Americans? When we say that we don't have enough money to help our own, and then $1.5 million is going to DEI in Serbian workplaces. How does that benefit American taxpayers? Shouldn't our top priority be fixing our own economy before funding these woke social experiments abroad? I mean, if this is just the tip of the iceberg, how much waste and abuse do you think is hidden in government agencies? Now, we've known this for a long time. Like, we've known that the U.S. government was wasting money. But I think that as Elon Musk digs all this out and puts it out in the broad daylight, I think we're still going to be surprised by some of the craziness that they are throwing away our taxpayer dollars on. It's just getting insane, guys.
All right, there you go. Emily.
And that is the tip of the iceberg for us funding terrorism, by the way. And yes, not only was it not supposed to be totally dependent, but also it wasn't supposed to be permanent. And self-reported from USAID, 4 out of 10 projects are not complete, are not fulfilled, objectives failed. That's self-reported. And that was in just 1 year, by the way, 2016 to 2017. So the whole point is we are funding failed projects that don't align with our values, that are funding actual terrorism, and is also in a time when we need to be focusing on ourselves. For a nation that's $3.5 trillion in debt, why in the heck are we spending so much money for developing nations on projects on these superfluous priorities when Americans are drowning right now? And frankly, the notion that people are horrified by this, we talked about, there's a triage that needs to occur. So maybe in the future we'll revisit. Maybe in the future, DEI in the workplace in Colombia, okay, fine. But for right now, why don't you guys just take a pause? Because the concept that these other nations rely on unequivocally American handout for salaries or for benefits doesn't sit right with us. Why shouldn't we shore up the walls, fix the broken windows, and then look toward the community garden in someone else's town? It doesn't make any sense to prioritize.
What you're saying is so fair too. I didn't think of it as triage. I was just thinking audit. But it's so bad now. It's probably going to feel like a disaster to go through and figure out where all the money is going. And I loved what you said. I mean, there will be some carve-outs. Former Senator Rubio, Secretary of State Rubio now, is looking for opportunities to do that. I mean, we do want to be good citizens in the world. We're the greatest country. Of course we do. But to your point, I mean, triage, audit, whatever you want to call it, we got to do it.
Is Elon Musk and Donald Trump are taking action to drain the swamp, and that is 100% what you're seeing here. This is the fruit of their labor. And guys, thanks so much for watching to this point. If you've watched all the way to this point, become a subscriber. Hit that subscribe button. Join the difference, and let's build a community of like-minded conservative Christians. You know, President Trump trusts Elon Musk, and he is cutting through the bureaucratic waste. My only question is, why hasn't this been done sooner? Musk has handpicked all of these young engineers. You all saw their faces earlier in the video. I mean, isn't it time for fresh minds to rebuild government accountability? And I love it. I'm all for it. He's picking these young guys, brilliant minds, brilliant young engineers to go through and to figure it out. And if USAID is funneling money to terrorist organizations, then why are we still funding USAID? Honestly, it 100% needs to be on the chopping block. Should have been on the chopping block a long time ago. So should we shut it down and start over to ensure American interests come first? I think so. But I'm very curious to know what you all think, guys. So down in the comments, let me know, should the U.S. government shut down USAID and rebuild it from scratch to stop the wasteful spending? Yes, no, maybe you don't know, maybe you're unsure, or maybe you have another idea. another option, another plan that might work even better, let us know down in the comments, guys. And also, I just want to say thanks, everyone, for watching the video, supporting the channel. The channel is growing at a rate faster than I thought it would, guys. So, again, we couldn't do without you. Y'all are the reason that I'm making these videos, guys, so that we can reach this country with the truth and make a real difference for the next generation. All right, guys, I will see y'all with another update very soon. Let's just keep supporting Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and let's get the fat trimmed and get the country back on the right path. All right, take it easy, guys.